Happy New Year to you all. 2022 is here and I've got a very interesting video whether these clubs turn out to be real or very fake. From first glance, I mean, again, I don't know much about the brand. They look quite nice. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon here, first video of 2022, and we have got an exciting one, and I literally have no idea what to expect or what we're going to be picking up. I saw this yesterday. Majesty Prestigio irons. Now I've seen these floating about here and there and everywhere, and there's a lot of Japanese brands, like high-end, high-end. We're talking like £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 for sets of irons. We're talking £2,000 for a driver. The Honma Beres irons that obviously pretty much started a lot of this 2 years ago was pretty much a similar design, or let's say a similar aesthetics to what I'm going to be picking up today, but I don't know anything about them. It's actually very difficult to find any kind of research because it is very much a Japanese brand and you don't really see any retailers selling them here in the UK. All I know is that I'm getting them for an extremely good deal. Here's the listing. Now, there is a downside. There's no 6 iron, which I initially saw, but there are 2 other clubs. We're talking another 2 tailor-made clubs, which pretty much pay for the whole lot anyway. So this is kind of a win-win, and I can't imagine they're going to be real. But if they happen to be, then obviously I've won the lottery. And if they're not, then it's going to make a good video regardless. But that being said, I'm picking the whole lot up for £60. So if they are counterfeit and I'm getting 2 woods, can I still play golf with them? I mean, realistically, I know fake clubs when it comes down to it, it's just quality. How much endurance you actually go get out of them. Rick did a video obviously on a fake driver, basically just blew up in his hands. So it's just a waste of money, no matter how cheap it is, because you're going to get 2-3 hits out of it. But a set of fake irons, if they are fake, what do they feel like? What do they sound like? How far do they go? Can you actually go and play golf with them? And for a set, basically, you'd pick up for 60 quid just to get out there, start learning the game. I can't see how you can go wrong with that unless they will just disintegrate in your hands. If you like this video, leave it a like. Subscribe if you are new. 2022 I'm very excited for, a lot of big plans, and as I say, thank you for all the support thus far. Right, I'm here. Let's go and meet Roy, who's selling these clubs. Let's go and find a bit more information and see exactly what I'm picking up. Okay, clubs have been acquired. Let's get the 2 ones that I know are genuine out of the way. TaylorMade burner, a little rescue there, and then an R580. I mean, these are old clubs, don't get me wrong, but I mean the shaft's in good condition. And again, on eBay, I'll show you some listings here. Probably going to get like £25 to £30 each, plus obviously including delivery. So it's not, I can't retire on these sadly, but they serve a purpose and they are actually really decent clubs. And say that's pretty much pays for basically everything that I've got here. £60 altogether for the lot. And Roy, very nice fella, does a lot of clay pigeon shooting. He's been gifted these irons, and we're in a relatively nice area. So I honestly don't know, because I've had to give them a quick glance, and they look, well, they look blingy, and they should be fake. But from first glance, I mean, again, I don't know much about the brand. They look quite nice. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here you have them. Now there is no 6 iron, and I'm going to get these back home. I'm going to give them a clean. I'm going to give you a much better look one after another. But from the past on, as I said, trying to examine the Honma irons that I got for I think £200 way back when. It was like all the drivers and the woods, etc. It's very difficult. Normally they put like a serial number on the hosels, but I can't really see anything like that. But just from first glance, quality wise, I mean, they look quite good. I mean, again, just like blending it in from like the wedge at the back here. Hopefully this focuses so you can have a look. See, like you've got a bit more of like a blade at the bottom there, and then obviously they get a bit more cavity as they go through the set. NS Pros in the shafts here, stiff flex, and then the Majesty grips. Again, I mean, I've never held them, I've never seen them, I've never seen even a video. I went on YouTube a minute ago, has anyone done a video on these? And well, apart from the actual commercials from Majesty themselves, I haven't seen anything on them. So I'm still stumped. I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. It's a very interesting set regardless, and obviously giving them a hit might be the telltale sign, but I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say at this point. Okay, back down here at Lower Hennick driving range. It's a bit rainy, a bit wet. We've given the clubs a clean. I'm going to show you them in their full glory at the moment, and there's two sides to this deal that I want to talk about. Number one, if for some reason, somehow, these are genuine golf clubs and these do retail upwards of £1,500 to £2,000, let's be honest, they're not worth it. They're just there for status symbol, very much like a car, like an expensive car. You can get an outrageously good car for £40,000, or you could get an outrageous car for 4 million. But let's be honest, 0 to 60, there's not going to be any difference, or that much difference, I should say. When it comes to these clubs, if they're counterfeit, if they are fake, and if they're like a reproduction, but they still feel and sound and give you the ability to play golf, and they've got a shaft, a grip and a head, then surely that's still good value. Not condoning counterfeit clubs, but it's kind of not even a win-win or a lose-lose, but I'm just interested to see how they feel and sound. Is if they give you the ability to play golf, does it really matter who made them? So as you can see, they're actually in really good condition, potentially for how much they've actually been used. Now obviously we are missing the 6 iron, so it goes 5, 7, 8, 9, then it goes into the 10 iron as you can see there, and then we've got pitching wedge, sand wedge, a wedge at the bottom, just like that. And there's a tiny bit of rust in the middle of the face. I don't know if that's a precursor or an indication that that these could be counterfeit. Again, I don't necessarily really want to keep talking about these clubs being counterfeit or not, because I'm more interested, these could be just horrendous golf clubs even from the real manufacturer. As I say, I've never hit them, I've never heard a review of them, I've never seen anyone else give their opinion on the clubs themselves. But from a glance, from what we can see, this is normally how I kind of give an indication of if something's genuine or not, because let's be honest, when a manufacturer makes a set of golf clubs and as a rip-off, let's say a counterfeit, and they need to make a margin there, they can't spend the kind of money that a proper manufacturer has to spend, i.e. there's going to be corners cut. Number one, the ferrules, for example. I've seen these ferrules a lot on Japanese golf clubs, and especially the Honma like Beres version, it's kind of like that indulgent status that someone spent a lot of money on ferrules alone. I mean, the ferrule has no advantage, or it gives no advantage to the club itself. It's there just purely to make the aesthetics look better, where the shaft blends into the hosel. These gold ferrules, as you can see there, do look quite fancy. And again, I'm not too sure if you can make counterfeit ferrules, but I'm pretty sure there's some time and effort that's been obviously gone into making that as well. There's no serial numbers on these clubs, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to tell you whether these are real or not by the end of this video. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to do a lot more research, or if I'll ever know whether these are real, because let's be honest, the amount of experts when it comes to these clubs in the UK is very limited. But again, in terms of quality, if you look at the back of the heads, metal in the back here, this isn't plastic, this is all metal at the back here, which again is very interesting. Can honestly tell you what kind of metal that is, but it is metal at the back. Does that actually add any value to the overall design, the overall feel of these golf clubs? I have no idea. And this is the interesting thing I find about these Japanese clubs, especially the high-end ones. The style, the design, the R&D goes into more of making it a status symbol than the golf club itself. I think if you look at golf clubs over the last years, everyone's got these speed pockets, everyone's got these hollowed out heads, everyone's got this weight perimeter, MOI, you name it, whereas these are just like, I'm not being funny, that looks like a Ben Ross head, or your standard Yonex head, or let's talk about a manufacturer that doesn't bring out high-end stuff, and then they've just stuck something at the back of it. So whether this is genuine or not, again, it is very lavish, it's very out there, and I don't necessarily think there's really been that much thought into actually making these the world's best golf clubs, but more of just something to show off to your friends. Okay, brief hit test has been done, and here are the results. Number one, the clubs did not break. Number two, they felt as good as a lot of other massive cavity backs out there on the market. Now, I can't give you a definite, because at the end of the day, I've hit tons of pin clubs, Mizuno clubs, strict and Titleist, and I could tell you what isn't one of those, even if it's a newer model, older model, but I've never hit these, so I've no baseline, I have nothing to go against it with these ones in particular. But here's what I can tell you. Number one is that they're ultra forgiving. These are super chunky. These are definitely not what I would buy or put in my bag, but these are just ultra forgiving, ultra big, ultra everything. And for the particular golfer that I'd imagine that would buy these, it kind of ticks all the boxes. If you are a high flying businessman with a lot of money and potentially not that many hours on the golf course, these things are going to be your best friend, because I hit this out the toe, the hill. I even shanked my first one, which I'm pretty sure I've shown you after not hitting golf ball for 2 weeks, and these things are going to help you non-stop. Number two is that they didn't break, therefore they've got some kind of quality to them. And as I say, I can't give you a definite whether these are real or not. What I can tell you is I bought today a set of irons that look the way they do for £60 with a rescue and a 3-wood, which would be a great basis for a beginner set. These are cavity back irons. Forget who made them, forget who produced them, forget how much money they are or cost or whatever. If you're a beginner golfer and you found these on Facebook for £60, whether they're genuine or not, these would be a great set for you. And that's exactly what I want to take, or you to take away from this video. If you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.
Morning Tom, hope you're doing well. Good afternoon mate, well done on the lesson. And
Evening Alan, not a problem at all. And
testing the G30s. Afternoon gents, on my way to the lockup. Go pick up the Mura iron.